Let's talk about another Indian neighbour, Nepal. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's political career is going up in flames, courtesy the dragon's fire. I cannot help but say I told you so. There is a political crisis brewing in Nepal. The NCP, or the Nepal Communist Party, the ruling party, is heading towards a split. Let me bring you up to speed with what's happening in Kathmandu. Hu Yang-ki, the Chinese ambassador to Nepal, is holding closed-door meetings. With whom? The rival factions of the ruling party of Nepal. There are two sides. One is led by Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, the other by former Prime Minister Prachand. The Chinese envoy is talking to both of them and she's trying to broker a truce. I have a question which I've asked before and I'll ask again because I haven't found an answer yet. Which sovereign nation allows a foreign diplomat to interfere in the workings of a national party, a ruling national party? This is a violation of diplomatic norms. But when it comes to China, Nepal is lawless, not to mention helpless. That Nepal is puppeteered by China is no secret, and now Kathmandu is not even trying to hide any of this. How did the situation become so desperate? Well, another meeting. The Standing Committee meeting of Nepal's ruling party. It happened on Tuesday. Why is it a big deal? Because the meeting was cancelled by Prime Minister Oli, not once, not twice, but 9 times. He did not want it because he knew what was coming. His party members were going to pass a resolution against him, or a resolution in support of his rival Prachand. So on Tuesday, when Oli postponed the Standing Committee meeting for the 9th time, the party did not listen to him. They barged into the Prime Minister's residence. They held the Standing Committee meeting in the Assembly Hall without Prime Minister Oli. The Standing Committee has 45 members. 29 of them attended the meeting, which is a clear majority in support of Prachand, who also happens to be the co-chair of the party. Who does he share the seat with? Prime Minister Oli. Now, the majority of Nepal's ruling party wants Oli to resign either from the Prime Minister's post or the party chairmanship. Can they force him to do so? What does the law say? Well, they cannot remove him from the Prime Minister's chair, but they can certainly force him to step down from the party leadership. What happens if Oli does not listen to them? The party could split, which means the government would fall and Nepal would head into an election. Is Prime Minister Oli prepared for this? Nepalese media reports say that he's already at it. Oli is trying to float a new party. One of his confidants has filed an application with Nepal's election commission. So Oli is clearly preparing for a split. What about the people of Nepal? How do they see this tug of war, this fight for power in the middle of a pandemic? Will they vote for Oli? Highly unlikely, given the massive protests we've seen against him. He's seen as a Chinese stooge in Kathmandu, and a lot of people are not happy about this. So here's the chronology, if we may. China is playing puppet with Nepal. It encouraged Nepal to amend its map, to claim Indian land, to ban private Indian channels, to declare law drama Nepali, to shun American aid, to repress citizen protests, and to send its army to its border with India. Basically, China egged Oli on to whip ultra-nationalism. He followed blindly, and the result is this. Oli has lost the support of his voters and his party. We all saw this coming. I'm surprised he did not, given all his political experience.